it's Kiki Crochet. In this video tutorial, we're going to learn how to crochet step by step these beautiful eye ornaments. We're going to see two different types. The one is going to be a little more three-dimensional, in which we are going to crochet two eyes and then join them together. And the second one that we're going to see in the end is a flat one. Okay, so let's see the material that we're going to use and how to start. So the yarn that I'm going to crochet with is Alize Baby Best, which is a size 3 lightweight DK yarn. I'm using black, blue, and white. And for any eye that I'm going to make, I'm using the black and the white. The only color that I want to change is the blue or the pink, and you can make them in any color that you prefer. Okay. And the crochet hook that I'm using is a 3.5mm one because I want my eyes to come out a little hard this way, and you know, the stitches to be kind of tight. This way, when I join to make the blue one, they're pretty tight, and when I put the stuffing in here, it doesn't come out through the stitches. Okay, so now let's see how to start. Now, for the black part of the eye over here, I'm going to use pink because with the black, you're not going to be able to see what I'm going to be doing. So the pink that I'm going to use now, imagine that it's the black center part of the eye. Okay, so let's start. So I'm going to start with my magic circle, and if you do not know how to work the magic circle, you can work 4 chains, and whatever I do in the center of my circle, you're going to do it in the center of your ring that you have made with your chains. So take the yarn and wrap it once around your 2 fingers and bring it on the top left. Now put your hook under the right yarn, over the left one, and bring it over. Turn your hook around once, this way you're creating a loop, and grab the left yarn and pull it through the loop. This way you have worked your first chain, but you have also secured your magic ring. So now in the center of my magic circle, I'm going to crochet 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now grab the yarn that you started your circle with and pull it tight, and put your hook in the first single crochet for this row. Let me just zoom out once. In the first single crochet right over here, and work a slip stitch. Okay, so this was row 1. In row 2, we're going to work an increase in every stitch. So we're going to work 2 single crochet in every stitch with a total of 12 single crochet. So chain 1, and now when we work in the rounds without turning our work, this is my first stitch, and the loop that belongs to each stitch is the one on its top right. So my first stitch is also the same stitch that I just worked my slip stitch. Okay, so put your hook in that same stitch that you worked your slip stitch and work 2 single crochet. 1, same stitch, 2. Next one, 2 single crochet. So 3 and 4. Next stitch, 5 and 6. Next one, 7, 8, next one, 9, 10, and our last stitch, 11 and 12. Now right here you might think that you have forgotten to work a stitch, but this right here is not a stitch. This is the slip stitch that we worked in the previous row. Now put your hook in the first single crochet for this row and work a slip stitch. Okay, now I'm going to join my new color I'm going to join the blue color, so I'm going to cut the pink one. So I'm going to join the blue color and I'm going to chain 3. So just grab the yarn and pull it through the loop. Tighten up the pink loop and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now put your hook in the very same stitch as the slip stitch and work one more double crochet. By doing this, you have worked 2 double crochet in the first stitch of the row. And comparing to other circles where you work an increase in every stitch in row 2, in row 3 you work an increase in every second stitch, then in every third stitch. In this case, I'm going to work an increase in every stitch again. So from the 12 stitches that I had in row 2, in row 3 I'm going to have 24 double crochet. So this was the first stitch. Now in the second stitch, work 2 double crochet. So 3 and 4, next stitch, 5 and 6, next one, 7, 8, next stitch, 9 and 10. So keep working 2 double crochet in every stitch up until you finish the row, where in the last stitch right over here you're going to work your last increase. I have my 24 stitches. Okay, so now I'm going to count from the bottom to the top, and I'm going to put my hook in that third chain and slip stitch. So now I don't need my blue anymore, and now I'm going to attach my white yarn. To start row number 4. So pull the yarn through the loop and tighten up your blue loop and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now put your hook in the very same stitch as the slip stitch and work one more double crochet. And and by this way we're working an increase. We're working 2 double crochet in the same stitch. Okay, now in the next stitch, now we have to be careful. I said earlier that when we work in the round, the loop that belongs to every stitch is on its top right. So this right here is the first double crochet, so this right here in the top right, it's loop that belongs to it. Then the next one, and so on. So you have to be careful where you put your hook into. Okay, so in the next stitch I'm going to work 1 double crochet. In the next stitch I'm going to work an increase, 2 double crochet in the same stitch. 1 and 2. In the next stitch I'm going to work 1 double crochet. In the second stitch I'm going to work 2 double crochet in the same stitch. 1 and 2. So keep repeating this step. Okay, so in the next stitch you're going to work 1 double crochet, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and so on. And your last stitch right in here you're going to end up with 1 double crochet. Okay, here you're going to have your increase, and here 1 double crochet. Once I finish my row, I'm going to turn my video back on. I've completed row number 4 with a total of 36 double crochet. Now count from the bottom to the top and put your hook in that third chain and work a slip stitch. Now we're going to start row number 5 by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. Put your hook in that very same stitch as a slip stitch and work 1 more double crochet. So we just worked an increase, 2 double crochet in the same stitch. Now in this row we're going to be working an increase in every third stitch, and we're going to have a total of 48 double crochet in the end. Again, be careful of the first stitch, which is this one over here, so the loop is this one right there. Okay, so in the first stitch I'm going to work 1 double crochet, second stitch 1 double crochet, third stitch an increase, 2 double crochet in the same stitch, 1, same stitch, 2. Okay, again, first double crochet 1 stitch, second stitch 1 double crochet, third stitch work your increase, 1 and 2. So keep repeating those steps up until the end, where in your last 3 stitches you're going to have your increase, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then your slip stitch. I've completed crocheting row number 5 with a total of 48 double crochet. Now work a slip stitch in the third chain, counting from the bottom to the top, chain 3, and work 1 more double crochet in the same stitch as a slip stitch. Now in row number 6 we're going to be working an increase in every 4th stitch. Okay, so again, be aware of your first stitch right over here. So in the first stitch work 1 double crochet, second stitch 1 double crochet, third stitch 1 double crochet, and in the 4th stitch work your increase, 2 double crochet in the same stitch. Again, first stitch work 1 double crochet, second stitch 1 double crochet, third stitch 1 double crochet, in the 4th stitch work your increase, 2 double crochet in the same stitch. Okay, so keep following the steps up until you complete the row, where in your last 4 stitches you're going to work the increase and 1, 2, 3 double crochet. Once I finish my row with a total of 60 stitches, I'm going to turn my video back on. I've completed working row number 6 with a total of 60 stitches, and now I'm going to work a slip stitch in the third chain, counting from the bottom to the top, chain 1, cut the yarn and fasten off. So we're done crocheting our eye so far. Now what you want to do is you want to weave in those ends in the back loops of your stitches. Now in the sake of the video I'm just going to make 2 knots, okay, so we can finish faster. Okay, I'm just going to cut it over here. Okay, and I'm just going to bring this loop down. Just make sure you weave it in better than me. I'm just going fast so I can finish the video. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to crochet 1 more piece like this, okay, in order to join them, because we want to make the more 3-dimensional one. Okay, so now because we were always crocheting in one side, we have a good side and a wrong side. I want to have both eyes on the good side, so make sure that when you attach them you're seeing the good side on the front and also the good side on the back piece. Okay, and in order for them to be identical, make sure you have the slip stitches aligned with each other. So what we want to do is put your hook in the first stitch in the front and the first stitch in the back right over here. Take your blue yarn, because we are crocheting the blue eye, and we are going to work 1 stitch in every stitch, joining the 2 sides together. So take the blue yarn, pull it through both stitches, chain 1, put your hook in the same stitches again, and work your first single crochet. Okay, now second stitch in the front, second stitch in the back, and work 1 single crochet. Third stitch in the front, third stitch in the back, so make sure you're grabbing regularly both stitches. We don't want to be grabbing front loops or back loops. You want to have your stitch go through and through both stitches. Okay, and work your single crochet. Again, in the next stitch, grab the stitches on the both sides and join by working a single crochet. Okay, and look how nice it looks at this point, and look how nice it looks in the back as well. Okay, you do want to be crocheting nicely and correctly in order for the stitches to look neat on the back side of the eye as well. So keep crocheting 1 single crochet in every stitch, and once I reach at about this point where this part is going to be open, I'm going to turn my video back on to stuff the eye and then finish crocheting with single crochet in order to finish the 3-dimensional eye. I'm almost done joining all around, and look how nice and neat the joining with a single crochet makes our eye look like. Okay, and this is how it looks in the back, nice and neat in the back as well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stuff our eye a little bit. Okay, we don't want to put a whole bunch of the stuffing in here, we just want to make it look like a nice, cushion, just a little bit. Okay, so start adding the stuffing in and make sure you open it up with your fingers to fit the whole eye. You want to spread it out nicely. Okay, just a little more. You just make sure you have nicely spread it out. Make sure you have down here in the ends as well. Okay, so now we're going to keep closing. We're going to keep joining in the same exact way up until we finish the eye. Okay, just keep working 1 single crochet, joining the both sides together. And since we had 60 single crochet in the end of row number 6 on both pieces, you're going to crochet 60 single crochet when you join. Okay, exactly 60 single crochet. And the last stitch right over here. Okay, now put your hook in the first single crochet of the row and work a slip stitch. Okay, now just fix the stuffing in here so it spreads out nicely, equally to the whole eye, and look how nice it looks. Okay, now we need to make the loop in which you can hang it. So I'm going to chain 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now put your hook in the very same stitch as where you worked your slip stitch and work again a slip stitch to join. Chain 1, cut the yarn and fasten off. Okay, so right here we just created a loop. Now you want to weave in the ends in the back loops of the eye over here. Okay, and now we're going to make our tassel, which is very easy. I'm going to use my hairpin. And let me zoom out a little bit. So I'm creating my tassel. I'm just taking the yarn and I'm wrapping it around my hairpin. Okay, and I don't want to do it so many times because I'm not making a pom-pom, I'm just making a tassel. Okay, I'm going to cut the yarn down here, and I'm going to cut one piece of yarn, and I'm going to take this piece of yarn and I'm going to, with my needle, put it right in between, you know, in the center of the yarn. Okay, and I'm going to make a knot right here in the top, in the center. Okay, right here on the top. Make sure it's tight enough. Okay, then I'm going to cut a second piece of yarn. Okay, just let me bring this back in the top center over here. Okay, now I'm going to cut a second piece of yarn, and now take the second piece of yarn and wrap it around to form your tassel. And the hairpin really helps me to make my tassel because I have my yarn, you know, around the wires over here, so it's easier for me to make the tassel. So now take this new piece of yarn and wrap it around your pieces of yarn over here. Okay, do this step a few times. And now make a knot. Now take out your hairpin, take out your tassel, and these pieces, the long pieces that we tied it on the top, we're going to use it to attach it on our eye. Okay, then I'm going to take all of the loops and I'm going to cut them to open them up right in the center. So make sure you have cut up all your loops. And now the pieces of yarn that I used to tie around my tassel, go ahead and trim them in the same length as the tassel. Okay. And here we go. Our tassel is ready. It's nice, pretty, and neat. And now I'm going to take my three-dimensional eye over here. Okay, let me cut up this yarn so it doesn't look ugly. And go ahead and you want to find your center. So the top center is right here where we made the loop. So somewhere around here is the bottom center to attach our tassel. So take your tassel and grab the loop and pull it through your single crochet. Okay, and here's where you can adjust the total length. So by pulling the loop, you're making your tassel shorter, and then by pulling down, you're making it longer. So here's where you can adjust how long you want your tassel to be. Okay, so now in the loop, take your 2 pieces of yarn and pull them through and pull it tight to make a knot. Now in the back side, right here where we can see the wrong side of the single crochet that we worked in the last row, go ahead and weave in the ends right here that we just made the knots. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it, okay, but don't just cut it, you have to weave in right here in the back to secure your ends so your tassel doesn't come out. Okay, and here we go. The 3-dimensional eye ornament is ready. Now what we're going to do is, so now we're going to create our pink one, the flat eye. So I have from row 1 through row 6, you're going to work the same exact steps that you did on the blue eye. The only difference is that we're going to work one last row of single crochet in which we're going to have to work increases for the circle to not close up. Okay, so since I have worked pink in the center of the eye here, I'm going to use pink to crochet in the last row. So after row number 6, where you worked your slip stitch, I'm going to put my hook in the loop, grab the pink yarn, pull it through the loop, and tighten up the white loop. Now chain 1 and work only one single crochet in the same stitch as the slip stitch. Now in this row, the last row, we want to work increases in every 6th stitch. So this was my first stitch, the second stitch here, so 2, next stitch, 3, 4, 5, and in the 6th stitch I'm going to work an increase, 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Now keep crocheting 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 6th stitch, work your increase, 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So keep working the same steps up until you finish all around, where in the last 6 stitches you're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochet, and in the 6th stitch, in the last stitch, you're going to work your increase. Once I finish, I'm going to turn my video back on. I have completed crocheting all around. Now put your hook in the very first single crochet of this row and work a slip stitch. And now again we want to create the hanging loop, so go ahead and work 15 chains again. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Again, put your hook in the very same stitch as you worked your slip stitch and work a slip stitch again. Chain 1, cut the yarn and fasten off. Okay, so again we created the loop to hang it, and now you're going to create a second tassel in the same exact way as we did the blue one in order to have this result over here. Okay, again you're going to go ahead and weave in your ends in the back loops of your eye, because this is the good side over here. And here we go. Both of our eyes are ready. These make such nice ornaments. Now in Greece we use them, we have this, it's part of our culture to make eyes, or buy them from stores, and they're supposed to keep the bad energy away. Okay, so here we go, our eye ornaments, the 3-dimensional one, the flat one. So thanks for watching, please subscribe, and if you like the video, please press like and leave a comment. Thanks again, bye bye!